Hello James, how are you?
Hi Leo, I'm very well, thanks. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. James, it's that time again. What's been happening in the markets over the last month?
Well, unsurprisingly, markets have continued to be quite volatile, but once again, most equity markets have posted a positive return overall. Not all of them though, and unusually there's been quite a big difference last month between UK stocks and US stocks. So the S&P 500, which measures US stocks, gained a further 5.6% during the month, but the FTSE 100 lost 4.2%. And I've got a chart here which shows how the two indices have performed since the market recovery on the 23rd of March, that's when it began. And you could see that the US was already outperforming, but the gap between them has widened quite significantly in July, and there are a couple of reasons for this. Firstly, it's been a good time for growth-orientated tech stocks which dominate the US market. So I mentioned a couple of videos ago that the top 5 stocks in the US, Amazon, Apple, Facebook, Microsoft and Google, made up around 18% of the entire S&P 500 index. Well, now they make up more than 22%. So they've really boosted the returns of the US market. FTSE 100, meanwhile, that's been struggling lately due to the strength of the pound versus the US dollar. The US dollar has been struggling a lot in the last few weeks due to fears over the US economy being hit harder by the rising number of cases in the US. So the pound had its biggest monthly gain against the US dollar for 11 years last month. It gained 5.5% against it. And this is going to dampen the value of overseas income for many of the large multinational companies in the FTSE 100, and that's why it's just been underperforming slightly in the last few weeks.
I see. James, what's been happening with gold?
Well, with virus cases continuing to rise, investors are becoming more concerned about the long-term impact on the economy, particularly in the US, where cases have been rising quite fast. And with the US dollar underperforming lately, investors have been turning to the other traditional safe haven asset, which is gold. So in the last few days, the price of gold has been reaching record high levels, and it's come very close to surpassing the $2,000 per ounce barrier for the first time.
So the question then, does Courtiers have any exposure to gold in the funds?
Well, we don't have any physical gold in the portfolios, but we do have indirect exposure to it through the various metal mining companies that you'll find in, say, the FTSE 100 index, such as Glencore and Polymetal. So those companies will have benefited from the recent surge in the price of gold.
Great. James, I think that rounds everything up for this month. Thank you very much for the commentary, for the video. Any questions, we'll come back to you, we'll let you know.